Christians don't talk about this verse because they're not able to account for it.
We talk about it all the time because you guys won't shut up about it.
At that moment, the curtain in the sanctuary of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, rocks split apart, and tombs opened. The bodies of many godly men and women who had died were raised from the dead. They left the cemetery after Jesus' resurrection, went into the holy city of Jerusalem, and appeared to many people. What this means is that there was a zombie apocalypse after Jesus died and resurrected.
No, that's an uncharitable representation from your non-Christian bias, and you know it. There wouldn't have been any zombies because these people would have been resuscitated, like Lazarus was. He was a person who came back to life. He wasn't a reanimated corpse. Second, it would not have been a lot of people, let alone an apocalypse. In that day and age, only the wealthy could afford tombs, and it says only the godly men and women came out. In that time and region, bodies would only be in tombs for about a year. After that, relatives would go back in, collect the bones, and then place them in a bone box. So we're only talking about the godly, from the wealthy, of the people who had died the past year in or around Jerusalem, so maybe a few dozen. But that might not be what Matthew is trying to say. The scholar Mike Licona has made the case that Matthew was probably just using poetic or apocalyptic language of the time. It'd be sort of like if I said Jesus' death was so climactic, hell froze over. You obviously understand that's not literal, it's just an idiom, and that might be what Matthew was doing. Licona surveyed other texts from the time that talked about other figures dying, and he notes we see similar language in them, and then he says, "It seems to me that an understanding of the language in Matthew 27:52-53 as special effects with eschatological Jewish texts and thoughts in mind is most plausible. Matthew may simply be emphasizing that a great king has died. If he has one or more of the Jewish texts in mind, he may be proclaiming that the day of the Lord has come." In other words, it's very easy for Christians to account for this passage. You just need to use a little critical thinking and do some research.